Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and this is a breakdown of Rick and Morty Season 5, Episode 3, A Rickconvenient Mort, a title inspired by Al Gore's 2006 climate change documentary, An Inconvenient Truth. And this episode makes us feel the simultaneous heartbreak over a breakup and watching the world burn out of our control. But as always, the episode is full of hidden jokes, callbacks, horny animation details, so let's cheer ourselves up by breaking them all down. Morty and Rick buy merch from Johnny D's Custom Tees, maybe a nod to Johnny Depp, who in Season 1's 60 Minutes was Jerry's C500A's best friend.
You're my best friend, Jerry Smith. I love doing cocaine with you.
Whoa, I love doing cocaine with you too, Johnny Depp.
And maybe in this reality, the guy sells custom tees, including their Rick and Morty pounder shirt, and another reading, compliments only. Acid rain burns, them coming from Diesel Weasel, a parody of cheesy Captain Planet anti-environment villains like Hoggish Greedly, Sly Sludge, Ooze. Loving the early 90s design here, fingerless gloves, open vest, random unnecessary pouches, but it's just very rocksteady bebop. He rides his floating motorcycle that looks like it's made of a semi-truck engine, a lawnmower, gas tanks, but also nuclear fuel cells. Enter Planetina, a female version of Captain Planet, voiced here by Alison Brie. Her logo is a recycle icon in the shape of a heart. Her synth theme music is based on the Captain Planet theme song, and she points to the camera and says, "The solution to Earth's pollution is you!" Just like how Captain Planet would end every episode saying, "The power is yours."
The power is yours!
Ah, such wholesome times, I miss them. It's stupid, but when Planetina knocks Diesel Weasel down, I love his little realistic reaction. So Rick drinks his first of many Foamy's Genuine Draft Tall Boys, a change from the past two episodes where he didn't seem to be drinking, and then he litters a can.
You crazy, Rick? She's right there!
Yeah, get that aluminum, Morty. It's 8% of the Earth. We'll need every atom.
Rick is right. Aluminum is 8% of the Earth's crust, though still no excuse to litter. Morty shows the family an early 90s recording of Planetina. I like how the animators included some green digital artifacts that you would see with videotape to digital conversion. In the polluted water, there's a dead fish, a flailing seagull, and then this dolphin covered in a sludge whose flesh has been eaten away, which later comes full circle when Morty becomes a perfectly whole dolphin in that animation. Planetina says,
Mother Nature has enlisted the help of 4 young adults from each major ethnicity, and when things look bad, and I mean really bad, they combine the powers of their elemental rings to create me, Planetina!
These are parodies of the Planetineers of Captain Planet, including Kwame, who controlled Earth, Wheeler, who controlled fire, like Eddie does here. He's voiced by Steve Buscemi, actually. Linka, who's from the USSR, controlled wind, like the Russian woman here who controls air, and then the Planeteer Guy, who controlled water. But here it seems like the powers were swapped between the Asian and African Tina-tiers, but instead of Earth, Ching Ho says dirt! Now notice there's no fifth one, like Mati, who wielded the power of heart, though arguably Morty fills that role. Now Morty clarifies the age difference.
She's a sentient amalgam of natural elements, so I don't believe age applies to her.
Now, this isn't the first adult relationship Morty has had, nor the first time he's had sex even. Like he hooked up with the mermaids in the Ricklantis mix-up, and then an adult woman in the Toxic Rick episode in Season 3. But Beth is later proven right when she says 17 is 26 in boy years, because Morty was not mature enough to handle what a relationship with Planetina would really entail. Actually, most adults probably wouldn't be able to handle that. Summer calls Planetina a Phase 4 superhero. I'm thinking probably not a nod to Marvel Phase 4, but I do like the idea of the Rick and Morty universe having multiple phases of a superhero hierarchy, making me think she could be part of the pantheon of the Vindicators, who are returning this season and could reunite Alison Brie with Community co-star Gillian Jacobs, who voiced Supernova of the Vindicators, and also played Linka in the Funny or Die Don Cheadle parody of Captain Planet, which also turns the hero into a homicidal maniac. And Summer says,
"Just shoot me in the f***ing head until I die."
Hey, none of that Summerfest.
yeah, Summer's suicidal faceplant here is exactly what Rick does at the end of Autoerotic Assimilation, the last time I can remember a Rick and Morty episode ending so bleak, which might be why Rick now steps aside from Morty's upcoming heartbreak and instead embraces his hedonistic nihilism in the B-plot. Meanwhile, Jerry doesn't eat the egg casserole that everyone else is eating and instead has his soft-boiled egg and toast.
Hey, my egg plate!
Later, you can actually see him sadly dumping the yolk on his plate. And I like how Morty asks,
Is it weird that she hasn't texted me yet?
Yes.
No.
What if I...
Jerry said yes, the same time Beth said no. Says a lot about their relationship. And Rick says the third planet is being deep impacted by an asteroid, referencing the movie Deep Impact that came out the same year as a similarly premised Armageddon. Deep Impact, though, had a comet. Armageddon had the asteroid. So good of Rick to reference Deep Impact instead, because it was the better movie. It just made less money. And when Rick takes Summer on the adventure, he puts on her Morty's acid rain damaged shirt after Morty threw it at his face earlier, and she says,
And if you don't like it, you can suck my bigger tit.
calling back the season 3 episode when she tried to resize her uneven breasts, and now she has 2010 New Year's sunglasses. I love the bit of old previous New Year's sunglasses. So the wildfire blazes the Mesa Leon National Forest. That's named after the director of this episode, Juan Mesa Leon. And as Morty flirts with Planetina, notice the jacket's on the ground at first. He just brought this jacket that he wasn't gonna wear so that he could just have something to sling over his shoulder. And then the older Planetineers arrive. They make her wear this Vote No on Prop 6 shirt. California Prop 6 would have repealed a gas tax that's being used to improve transportation infrastructure. And as Morty and Summer head to Morglutz, I appreciate how Adult Swim had to digitally blur them demonstrating eating ass, which the animators clearly leaned into more just because the digital blur looks so funny. And then after seeing her puke in a baby carriage, Rick hooks up with Daphne, who is voiced by Jennifer Coolidge, known from the Legally Blonde movies and played Stifler's mom, and is so funny in all the Christopher Guest movies. Morty's night with Planetina is scored to the original song Flowers by Rick and Morty composer Ryan Elder and Mark Mallman, and as they hook up, we see it in the form of this watercolor and crayon animated sequence in order to convey their beautiful naturalistic romance, but also in this kind of childlike way to show that Morty is going into this with an immature attitude. I like how we wipe into this with the transition of AA batteries, since they were just talking about recycling used batteries, and notice how a Planetina cloud blows the Morty wind turbine, which then changes direction to blow her. A Morty bee hovers near a dandelion, a Morty butterfly flaps past this solar-powered house with a barrel for collecting rainwater, then a Morty dolphin jumps, and then Planetina with angel wings, not necessary because she can already fly, orbits a Morty moon, but then that moon cross-dissolves into the supernova sun of Morglutz, showing that contrast between Morty's dreams of saving his dying planet compared to this other society hedonistically embracing its apocalypse. The Morglutzian tells Summer,
Solus is collapsing in 5 zip-zops. If we time it right, we can skeet together as the sun explodes.
Sounds amazing.
yeah, each planet apparently has different words for units of time. Here they use zip-zop, kind of like that annoying improv warm-up, zip-zap-zop. And Summer uses the alias of Michelle Obama, because of course she would. Meanwhile, at EcoCon, Planetina gets summoned there by the Planetineers with Morty still on her, so they distract the crowd with limited edition Funko Pops for $50. Now, the black hole that's about to envelop Slartivart has the proper event horizon design that Christopher Nolan commissioned astrophysicists to conceive of for Interstellar, which, by the way, is another story that balanced space exploration with an ecological crisis on Earth, though Dan Harmon has spoken at length about how much he hates that movie's script. But hey, is your monthly credit card balance keeping you up at night? Tossing and turning like you got ants in your bed? Well, Upstart can be the bed exterminator to help you finally feel the relief of being credit card debt-free. Upstart is the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off your debt all online. Over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple fixed monthly payment. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and other info provided in your loan application. You can get approved the same day and can receive funds as fast as 1 business day. Don't let your credit card debt give you the bed ants. No matter how many late night cookies that you eat, you don't deserve to have those bed ants. I don't know why I'm obsessed with the bed ants. Just find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/newrockstars. That's upstart.com/newrockstars. And don't forget to use our URL to let them know that we sent you. So go to upstart.com/newrockstars. Slartivart is populated with these 3-eyed pink aliens that we've actually seen one of in the background before, like at Blips and Chits in season 2. Summer wears an ice skate on her head and she inhales a joint through her nose. Nice. Meanwhile, 2 dudes wear piss jumpsuits with pee tubes going up to their mouths. Don't know what that's about. The old people dancing, Rick and Daphne, do the kid and play dance from House Party. And when Eddie threatens to burn Morty, Morty fights back, burning the ropes off his own wrists and biting off Eddie's ring finger, just like Gollum does to Frodo in Return of the King. Actually, if you think about it, Morty does similarly make his own tragic fall in pursuit of that which he loves most. The Planetineers plan to sell Planetina to a royal from a Middle Eastern country who eats baby seals, though later makes it very clear he is not meant to be a stereotype.
I am an individual character. I represent no group.
So Morty enters disguised as a pizza guy with his hat reading murder pie, and he tosses Eddie's charred skull at them.
I know those cheekbones like they're my own. It's Eddie.
Sing Ho attacks. Yeah, she says dirt multiple times for a continuous stream of it. So when Morty takes the Russian's wind ring, he says, Yeah, airs multiple gusts all at once to inflate and pop her head. Yikes. But when confronting the royal, he uses just small bursts of each, only to destabilize the guy so that the baby seals can finish him off. Now, after the scene, we never see the rings again, suggesting that Morty most likely gave them to Planetina so that she can control herself. So even though he dumps her, he does leave her in a position to continue her eco-extremism. Now, back on Slartivart, the people count down with their language numbers.
Lib, Naga, 3, Verlix, Gam!
Yeah, 3 is Threve? Maybe a nod to that classic SNL Celebrity Jeopardy?
All you had to do was write down a number, and you wrote Threve.
Daphne reveals to Summer her secret weapons.
Not if I keep Rick's mouth full of these.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's right, girlfriend.
Nice classic cartoon bounce sound effect there. But I also love that Rick could spot those under Daphne's jacket to be initially attracted to her. Meanwhile, back at home, they play this hilariously stupid board game called Don't Punch My Lunch.
Oi, don't punch my lunch.
Which looks like you just feed a construction worker food and then punch him in the belly until he pukes.
Oh no.
Mom, I hate you!
It's like these classic stupid kids games like Don't Break the Ice or Don't Wake Daddy, Mr. Bucket. I like how one of the game squares just looks like your character is to take a shit, which might relieve all the food inside that guy. Now, Jerry, who probably picked this game because we know from last episode he loves stupid kid games like Fuggle, 4-letter words. Here he rolls double sixes, but notice as he counts squares while everyone else is bickering, he skips a square just so he can land on the punch square. Now, when Morty storms out, he slams the door just once. Now we cut back to Beth, but then back to the door, calling back the earlier moment when Morty immaturely slammed it multiple times, which tells Beth here that Morty's defiance is for real. Now, over this next montage plays Kishibashi's I Am the Antichrist to You, an amazing song that fits perfectly with Morty gradually realizing Planetina is actually a villain. It starts okay with her powering wind turbines to power a city, putting out a forest fire, scaring off elephant poachers, but then she slashes tires, she torches a congressman's home, which by the way they watch at Eli's Electronics, which I'm thinking is a nod to Fry's Electronics, an electronics store that was in Burbank, California, not far from the Rick and Morty production studio. But then she confronts the coal miners.
There! You're killing the planet!
Your people didn't get the votes.
Now, I'm assuming he could be referring to some Green New Deal legislation, which would be held up in the US Senate thanks to the Democrats' razor-thin majority at the moment, in which the swing vote is Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia, who is a huge supporter of coal and is very much against a lot of environmental regulation. So Planetina cuts their elevator cable and then just burns the whole place down, reducing these miners to ash. Even one was still kneeling there. Meanwhile, breaking this miner's heart. Reflected in his eyes, you can see more burning bodies. Ironically, by burning this coal mine, Planetina might be releasing even more carbon emissions. Summer destroys the asteroid that was gonna hit Furcus 9, and the guy most upset about it, of course, is the one who was screwing his dad, which we later see their awkward day of work in the post-credit scene. But another little detail here, whenever Rick is talking to Daphne, his eye line matches the eyeballs at the top of her stalks. The guy makes eye contact. And on the drive back, Rick admits,
It was pretty Rick of you to avert an apocalypse in a tantrum of cynicism just to destroy one dumb relationship. I would have done the same for you.
actually, Rick did avert an apocalypse just to destroy one of Summer's dumb relationships back in season 3's Rick Mancing the Stone, when Rick stole the post-apocalyptic Mad Max reality's energy source while getting Summer out of that marriage. By the way, that guy was voiced by another community actor, Joel McHale. So Morty breaks up with Planetina, and as she flies away, the animators included Morty and Rick's graves all the way back from season 1 in the backyard. Just another reminder that this Morty does not belong here and will always feel alienation. I mean, poor Morty. Jessica just dumped him after becoming a time god, and that fulfilling love life that he had in the Vat of Acid episode was reset when stupid Jerry just thought the reset remote was a TV remote. Even now when Morty is doing the dumping, the kid is cosmically cursed against ever experiencing true love. And as he sobs in his mother's arms, the floral wreath that Planetina had gotten for him now wilts sadly as some petals drop just like tears. But saddest of all, when you compare this to the earlier shot, notice how Morty has turned this wreath away from his bed so that he would not have to look at himself. That is everything I caught this episode, but I will be back next week to look at episode 4. You can support this channel by checking out our merch options, including our Loki-inspired shirt, Loki Out of Time, at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow and subscribe to New Rockstars. Thanks for watching. Bye. Peace.